Well, speaking of the listening exercise where we take turns listening, I have a little feedback for myself and I think maybe a few others. I don't think it's necessary to go through the whole meditation attunement thing in between the two people. Do it first. We all get it. We can get a seat in our hearts and one person listens, the other person's talk. At that point, I felt I would rather, I mean, I was the listener first, I would rather just be the talker and maybe have a minute or two, take an in-breath to get centered, but I don't really think we need the whole thing of getting attuned again. I think we know enough to take an in-breath and get in that place.
Yeah, so let me say a little bit about why. It's true that we can all rest in the heart. And sometimes it's nice just to have time reserved to reconnect with the divine, to just rest in that moment of oneness, of unity, or communion, or being held, or however it is that you are experiencing your relationship with the divine at that time. And for some people, those of us that are really good at moving from one state to another, it's not really an issue. But for others of us that have a lot of activity, it's really nice just to have that space to drop back in. So I appreciate that. And it's quite possible that when you're practicing with friends or when you're sitting and listening with friends, you're not going to say, now hold on a minute, I need to do my centering and drop into my heart and, be there, because you won't. But for this time, I hope it's okay if we just kind of take the time and leave that space for people. It's not easy for everyone. It's really not. Yeah.
I, for one, am appreciative of having that order, because I don't know anything on the standpoint of how the tradition goes or how it's supposed to be. So by you guiding and showing me how it's supposed to be, then I learn, and it makes it easier for me to then step back into it. And, when I'm fed too much information on the standpoint of everybody wants to put input, I go into overwhelm. And it's like, can we just keep it simple?
Yeah, it's like the sorbet between courses, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's really what we're doing. Not everyone likes to eat that sorbet.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not a sorbet person.
Yeah.
But I've gotten so much feedback over time that it's helpful for some people. We all have our own way,
Yeah.
And we really are building new pathways. Some people came here with those pathways built. And so for them, it's not an issue. Some of us have very strong pathways in some areas and not so strong in others. And so it's a way to develop this particular pathway. And remember, your inner physicality is actually changing as you develop these pathways within you.
I also experience it as sort of an antidote to our culture. Like, our culture is too fast, and efficiency, multitasking, don't waste any time. The moment between, you could have done an email, gotten a phone call done, and so I know I'm steeped in that, and to learn to give the spaciousness, because magic happens in the spaciousness, and so I find it helpful to sort of force myself to get out of what I've been trained in for 50 years of get it, keep it going, get it done, blah, 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 and just this is a whole different thing. So it helps me be countercultural in that way.